welcome back to episode 13 of the podcast. In this week's episode, we talk about a crazy night out, which ended up with both of us on the side of a road. We also talk about the fact that hot girls do eat cottage cheese.
We're sharing 5 key tips that we've learned running our business, and we're sure so many of you can relate to this, but we are in such a style rut, so we are sharing our key tips on how to get ourselves out of a style rut.
Thank you so much, as always, for listening. Don't forget to like, subscribe and follow, and enjoy the show. Hi, Phils.
Hello, episode 13.
Hello.
Is it lucky 13? Is it
think
unlucky
so.
13?
Oh, I don't even know. I'll tell you what is unlucky.
Tell me.
How violently inebriated we both got on Saturday night.
Oh
how
my gosh.
violently hungover we were, and I still don't feel 100%
Are you not
human.
100%?
No, are you?
So Sunday I was horrendous, but by Monday, even by Sunday night, I was back into it.
Sunday night,
But-
I don't think I had a brain. I couldn't even, I was just a mess.
So we have not been out like that in however many years. I don't remember the last time I got that drunk.
Well, let's just say I haven't been, all the years I was at uni, all the years of like abusing my body, I have never ever thrown up on alcohol until Saturday night. So let's just go figure.
It's actually, that's so true. I remember you saying you've never ever been sick.
Never.
When you're drunk. See, for me, it's a regular.
But it
Because I
makes you
get so
feel-
car sick, travel sick all the time anyway. So it's just a no-brainer. I know I'm going to be
A
sick.
TC,
Always.
tactical chunder. But I was so inebriated. It came on so quickly, the sickness. And what I will add is that we were both sick within 3 minutes of each other, because I called you on the way home to tell you that I had been sick. And then 3 minutes later, Alex called.
Alex, right. I just want to let you know
Okay.
also, I take it back. Alex has absolutely rinsed me the whole week after last week's episode, because apparently I said that he was only good for emptying the bins and he wasn't even good at that. You are the best husband, the best daddy. I love you with all my heart. You are the dream for me, and I could not do life without you. So just want to put that to one side. I want to just establish that. But my husband filmed me puking up on the side of the road, laughing.
Who would like to see the video?
Absolutely not. I also can't look at the video because my posture whilst I'm being sick makes me feel even more sick. But I have to say, I was sick. I got back in the cab and I was fine.
But I never knew that being sick would make you feel so fantastic. I felt amazing. Very briefly, because then it was game over the next day. But you know what? Going out.
Yes. Oh my
Gosh.
gosh.
I don't think you
Sarah.
need to be that drunk. I think that was
do you
just
know what?
too much. But drinking and dancing and letting loose, and that to me, there's no better feeling than letting loose on the dance floor.
I have to say, I remember this so vividly. And we were at that level of drunk where you're literally living your best life. Like we weren't, when the room's spinning and you can't even see your face in the mirror. We were just high. We were like literally in the best versions of ourselves.
Yeah,
and
not according to our husbands, by the way.
And I really recall this overwhelming feeling whilst we were dancing, just thinking, I love this version of me.
Yeah.
I need to be this version of me more often.
How do you ever let loose like that? And I think dancing and just like our old music. And actually, I was telling my girlfriends about this, and they were saying, it's that music from our youth.
Yes.
We don't get that we wouldn't get that from like going to a concert now. It's not the same. It's that old music that just makes you come alive. I know we're sounding so old, elderly right now, but it was the best.
But listen, if you do go to Bunga Bunga, I think there's a few.
Do you
actually
recommend it?
I do. I thought there was just one, but I think there's a few. Perhaps stay away, or maybe not. Keep going with the, what were they called?
Porn star martinis. Literally, this was my phrase of the night. I don't do shots, just pour it into my drink instead.
I think that was like an added thing, though. I think they could just come as a martini.
Well, I think it's,
and then
we
it's
were
like
drinking
a separate
vodka, martini, champagne. I mean, no wonder we were that unwell. Anyway,
Meanwhile, one thing I do want to add is on
don't
Sunday
mix your
morning,
drinks, hashtag.
On Sunday morning when I woke up, I just thought I cannot parent today. And I don't think I've ever had that feeling where I've drunk so much that I just cannot put it together. I could not snap out of it. And then I saw you on Instagram. You were dressed, you had your hair done. And I messaged Sarah thinking, I said to her, how? I'm in bed. I took a selfie of me and Ava in bed. I'd supplied her with all the snacks. I'd put on the Little Mermaid. I was like, we are not doing anything. We are staying put. How were you able to do that?
Because my kids wake up at between 5:20 and 5:30, so I'm awake. I felt so unwell that I thought by the time that it was 8:30, I'd lived a whole day. So I had to get out of the house. The sun was shining. I beelined to the coffee shop. I went straight for a coffee, and that was how I got through the day. But yeah, I didn't enjoy getting up and out, but c'est la vie.
Moving on to something that's made us laugh over the last few weeks. And we just thought we would share it with you. And the quote of the day is, "Hot girls eat cottage cheese."
And they absolutely do.
Quite controversial.
Case in point 1, case in point 2.
I know so many people hate it.
Why is it such a like?
It's quite a naff thing to
but
eat.
why is it such like a topic that's people are so repulsed by cottage cheese?
Because it's quite. It's an acquired taste, but I just want
it's
to.
The most stunning taste.
Would you eat it on its own, like with nothing
My
else?
family is like cottage cheese obsessed. We eat it with like a spoon out the jar, out the pot.
Honestly, I don't know if I could do that. Like I like.
It's not my favourite way to eat it, but I have
meal.
been known to do that.
But it kind of came up in conversation because Sarah and I, we do talk about food pretty much.
And what we're having for lunch.
Day.
Although I'm just going to caveat, I've bought us lunch today. Philippa says, I need to talk about our lunches. They're not working for me anymore. I mean, what kind of statement is that to start a day? I've bought us lunch and she's unappreciated.
I am really grateful.
She's not wanting my cottage cheese with smoked salmon, which, by the way, is a wonderful combo on a toasted thin. Where are we going with this? Is it you don't like the ingredients?
I think I just, I like to mix things up.
Okay.
But I'll have it today, and I'm very, very grateful that you spent the time getting it.
So that will be continued when we're apparently having new lunches next week.
But also what's apparent is that everyone loves to listen to recipe podcasts, which is something that we didn't...
I never even knew it was a thing.
No, but I think I want to start listening. Because also I'm such a visual person. I don't know if I'd be able to think about a recipe just by listening to it, if that makes sense.
Because we were in a meeting, weren't we? And the girl that we were with, we were talking about podcasts, and she said, I really only love listening to people cooking. And we were like, what? I find it really therapeutic, and now I've learned how to cook things. But we couldn't quite piece that together because, as Phil said, we're very, very visual. But actually, she was like, I'm now scoring the fish underneath, and I'm doing the kosher salt and whatever. And I just feel like it's the way forward.
So we want to just inspire you with our cottage cheese ingredients.
How do you have yours? Go on.
So
your go-to cottage cheese recipe.
My go-to recently, I love a chili, a very spicy, crunchy, textured chili. I feel like that's a whole different conversation. We need to know how we make each other's chilies. And then spoon on some cottage cheese on the side.
But then would you mix it in? Are you mixing it in, or are you having
each
it
mouthful? I'll have a put on my spoon some chili and then some cottage cheese. Put it together, and I think the crunchiness and the spiciness
with the creaminess, it's a bit Mexican-y vibe.
Oh, it's stunning. So that's one, and then the other one, which I had on Monday night, which was I am
a bit disturbed that your cottage cheesiness is of an evening, because mine is very much a daytime thing.
See, I like it of an evening. So I've got my roast chicken, I've got my pickles, I have crunchy steamed broccoli, and then cottage cheese. And let me tell you, that combo.
It's like a mix and match plate.
Yeah, but it's quite deli-fied. Yeah. It's quite picky-fied. We like pickies, picky bits. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's like my go-to dinner. What's your I want to ask you a question.
You're going to laugh at me.
You get home from work. It's been a really hard day. You've put the kids to bed. What's your easy go-to dinner?
Well, for many years, it was a tray bake. And I know you laugh at a tray bake. But
it just reminds me of my mother-in-law. My mother-in-law loves a tray bake.
I do love a tray bake because you can put any old veg, load of seasoning, paprika, etc., chicken, and it's just what I love is I just want to get something ready, put it in the oven, and then it's done by the time I come downstairs. However, because I'm an air fry gal,
do I need to get an air fryer?
I think you do, because my main thing is I'm not making anything that crazy, but it's quicker and it's very juicy. So I find cooking salmon in the oven, it is just beyond niche.
And dry.
Whereas in the slow cooker, put a bit of, again, seasoning on. I put a load of roasted veg at the bottom, and it's really tasty.
So do you never use your oven anymore?
I do, because I've been putting my slow cooker away because it's been bothering me that it's on the side, but it's quite heavy.
That's the thing.
So the in, the out, the in, the out. So I have been mixing up the two. But my go-to is literally my favourite roasted veg, which is peppers and mushrooms and asparagus at the bottom of the slow cooker.
That upsets me.
Why?
I can't believe that's your favourite veg.
Mushrooms are life.
But what about peppers? That's not my favourite.
I said
veg.
peppers.
Yeah, I know. I can't believe it.
You don't love a roasted pepper?
I like a crunchy cold pepper.
Oh, no. No. Roasted peppers, roasted mushrooms, asparagus, which goes great in the air fryer. And then on top, I either put chicken or fish. Listen, it's dry and it's plain, but I enjoy it.
But hold on 1 second. How does the chicken then cook the same time as the veg? Or does it just...
Yeah, there's like a tray. So I put the chicken on like the wiry rack thing and I put the veg underneath. You close it and it kind of, I mean, listen, are my timings on point? Probably not, but I think it is really tasty. And I put loads of seasoning on. And that's my go-to easy, healthy dinner.
We were also talking in the office because I often, when I get home from work, you know, that starving feeling, especially
like haven't eaten for days,
especially when the kids are having dinner at like 4:35.
Yeah,
that's when I just think to myself, right, send to yourself. You do not need to eat 1,000 biscuits and crisps and their chicken nuggets and pizza and chips.
And the pasta and cheese. Is there anything better in life than eating pasta and cheese from your kid's plate?
Absolutely not.
There's nothing.
No, and pesto. Oh, salty pesto.
I don't even think my kids have ever had pesto.
Really?
Yeah.
What about the sun-dried tomato one? You should try it.
Oh, yes, that's the
It's good.
sauce. Yeah, that's good.
Can you see that we just love talking about food?
This was meant to be a 2-minute chat.
We just got so invested in just talking about
So
food.
what's your go-to snack when you come home?
My go-to snack is a cup of tea.
That's not a snack, you weirdo.
As in, no, not a snack.
Oh, I'm hungry. Let me drink a cup of tea.
No, but just it's fulfilling. It's
You don't have
comforting.
anything on the side.
I'll have like a naan biscuit. My friend
Yeah.
Tanya's got me into the naan biscuits again.
Yeah.
The gluten-free ones. They have a chocolate and mint
Yes,
one.
you did tell me about
Ooh.
this. Will you
And
bring me one in?
They're quite beefy as
Yeah.
well. They're not as thin as
Because the
the
naan or
normal
naan,
ones.
whatever you call them, they're very thin.
But the new ones, they're chunky. So I'll have a very comforting cup of tea. And it's, I have
Enough?
to say,
Does that last you
it's
to
a
dinner?
really good hack. You know, when you come home, you're like, ugh.
Yeah.
It's actually uplifting. You
Better than
hug,
eating
you
your
hug
kid's
the mug.
Easter egg from 2 months ago.
Try it.
My go-to when I come home, because my kids always have them, is a Baby Bell. It's not fulfilling, but I do. You know, when you're in that routine, it's like I just go to the fridge and get it.
I find like Baby Bells, if you're hungry, it like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's the start. And then I'm quite a rice cake gal.
Yeah.
I do love the
With
callow,
almond.
or even just plain. I love the Snacker Jacks, but the callow raspberry and vanilla ones I love, and they're like feel quite healthy. And I might have a couple of those to get me through bed and bath time, and then
That's
dinner.
the thing. You need those comforting things that are just going to get you through. I think that's enough about food and meals and snacks, although that is our favourite topic to ever talk about.
So I feel like we've exhausted all snack and dinner options
Have
for
we, though?
now.
Have
we
we,
haven't, but I
though?
feel like we should maybe have a dedicated food episode.
The minute we leave the podcast,
I'm starving now. I'm absolutely
we're
ravenous.
always like, what are we having for lunch?
Well, I've already bought lunch and you're very dismayed by it. Anyway, so it is a bit food related actually. So last night, our lovely designer Hope, we had a little hen party for her, didn't we, at the office? She's getting married on the weekend. And let's just say she is going to be the most exquisite and breathtaking bride.
Yeah.
She's beautiful, blonde, like she's getting married in Cornwall. The weather looks gorgeous, like all the boho vibes.
And
She's
her eyes are sky blue.
She's just the most amazing girl.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we organised a hen for her at the office in our studio, and we worked with the Social Kitchen, our lovely friend Danny, who is the most incredibly talented visual, all the props, the tablescaping, and she's opened her new company, Luxury Tablescape Styling and Tableware and Prop Rental, and you can rent the glasses, the vases, the cutlery, the everything to make that most incredible table setting. So she came to office yesterday afternoon, set up the most gorgeous table, and we did
painting. We snacked, we drank, we had tipples, we laughed, and it was
Played
just
games.
an afternoon of just like pure joy.
And it was so chill.
The
Compared to our Saturday night, it was actually
it
a
was very
wonderful evening.
civilized. But Danny Tucker from the Social Kitchen, you guys have to check her out because it's such a skill to be able to put something like that together with such ease. So she came, we did it in our studio, and she was there for not like
an hour.
Yeah, it wasn't long, but she just made it look like magic so quick, and it was beautiful.
The attention to detail,
Yes.
and all the stuff. Like, you just don't own that stuff to put on something like that. And I love celebrating people, like all those
Yes.
milestones. Any chance we get to like celebrate someone in the team or each other, I
Yeah.
feel like we go for it. And to go to that level, you'd never be able to do that. You just don't have the things.
No, it was really lovely, and it just made us think, you know, well, whilst we were all there and we were enjoying it, Sarah and I were like, wow, like this is our team. And we, as Sarah said, it's so important for us to celebrate our team, and not only just in terms of like a party, but just make sure that everyone around us feels like they are part of us, and
how important they are,
and how important they mean to us. So Sarah and I thought it would be really lovely on today's episode to just kind of share our 5 key factors, are the most important things that we feel running a small business. And we thought we'd share them with you today. So Sarah,
I'm going to start. So I think for us, and like we've shared before, we were stylists kind of 30 years combined. We did the shit stuff. And we will always get our hands dirty. We will always carry the IKEA bags. We will always, when needed, steam the clothes. We will always do the returns. And I think it's really important when you start a small business to get stuck in, because we don't have the skill set to do it all, but we got to try doing a small business.
Yeah.
So anything that needs doing, we're slapping, we're doing it all. And yes, we have a team of people, but everyone is not afraid to get their hands dirty and get involved. And I love that. And I think the minute you lose that is the minute you need to worry.
And actually not even just like doing the small kind of crappy stuff, but
No,
even like
stuff.
the big stuff as well. Rachel in our office the other day, we were just talking about, you know, expanding potentially and just different jobs. And she said, listen, like we're not accountants, but we're trying, we're doing it. And I think
just made you think.
It really did, because if we don't do it, who's going to do it? And we want to build this. So you have to be open and able to just get stuck in, and also do
and also learn
stuff
along the way. As in, we don't know how to do it all, but my God, we will try.
Yeah. I think what's really also important, and I think we've mentioned this before in terms of like building our team, and it kind of goes back to our party that we had for Hope last night. It's starting small, but having a network or a group of people, a team around you. Doesn't matter if there's 1, 2, 5. Start small, but make sure that everyone around
they're
your people, and you all bring each other up. You all support each other. We don't have anyone in our office that, you know, feels belittled or doesn't feel as important or isn't as involved. And I think when you're building something small, to have that network, that support around you is absolutely vital.
And keep that conversation open. Always talk, always communicate. Everyone in their own right makes you feel and makes you able to do your job in the best possible way. Yeah. And I think everyone brings something really different. And we're so incredibly grateful for the people that we've attracted. And yeah, we're very proud of our team, and we will always continue to champion them and vibe with them. Number 3, which I absolutely love, is talk to anyone. Have those conversations. In the past, we've met with business owners, we've met with various people that have had small businesses. You can learn so much from so many different people. And if someone is saying, I'd love to have a coffee with you, grab that with open arms, because if people want to share their knowledge and they want to say, I'd love to help you not make the same mistakes I did.
Yes.
It's just amazing that people would do that. And I do think, and I would love to think that we would do that, and we will do that as we grow as well. And I think it's really, really important to take people's advice and learn from them and keep learning.
And funny enough, actually, I bumped into someone on the weekend who is so successful. She has an amazing brand. And we were just chatting, and she was being so complimentary of us. And of course, I was back to her. And I think, you know, there's room for everyone.
And I love the fact that other people champion other people, and we say that all the time.
And I said to her, I know I'm talking on behalf of myself and Sarah, but I know that it would be great for us to catch up. And she was like, well, you know, I'd love to share all the mistakes that that's a really empowering message, to be able to not be afraid to open up, to share knowledge. Knowledge is power. We always say this. So I think it's absolutely vital to constantly be sharing, constantly be listening, but also, and this is something that perhaps we have made a mistake in the past, listen, but you don't always have to act. So you can you can write notes.
And also, it doesn't need to be right now.
Exactly. I think sometimes we take things a little bit too literally, where we're learning to just build the knowledge, take it all in, get inspired. It doesn't mean that you have to action it right then and there.
Yeah.
But just always have your ears open, always listen to advice. Has been so vital for us so far, and it's still something that we are constantly
and so many of our conversations have led to really big moments for us. And it's like, if you wouldn't have put yourself out there and had that conversation, where would we be where we are now? And I don't think the answer is yes.
Number 4, things don't always go to plan. So we have to share something that happened with us last week. And I'm very proud with how we behaved and reacted, because I think us a year ago, it would have been a different situation. So over on What the Brand, we were meant to shoot a little small capsule collection somewhere in the UK. It would mean that we were away for 2 days, and it was going to cost a lot, which is fine. We set aside budget for our shoots, and they're vital and important. And that's, you know, we had planned it in our heads that that's what we were going to do for so many different reasons. And, you know, actually, it's only in hindsight you realize that
the universe
was
is telling
so
you.
Not meant to be.
Yeah.
And obviously the trip then didn't happen. And we were so calm and chill about it. We were just like, okay, it's not meant to be. Let's come up with plan B. And I'm really proud with how the team of us, we all reacted to it, because we could have just thrown our toys out the pram.
Because actually it not happening could have been really stressful. Things were delayed, et cetera, et cetera. There was quite a lot of knock-on effects of not doing it.
But the thing is, things don't always go to plan.
And you have to believe that it will make sense eventually.
And ultimately in business, you know, that it's always going to happen. So I think obviously it's going to be so frustrating and so annoying, but it's how you react to the situation. So so things don't always go to plan, and the more you accept that and always make sure you have plan Bs and being really confident with that, I think that for us has been something that we've really found important.
Final point is, I think something, again, we've learned the hard way sometimes, to constantly be agile, to constantly be learning.
Sarah's favourite phrase.
Be agile, not fragile. Heard that on a podcast somewhere. Constantly reassessing, especially the world we're in, is constantly changing. And if you keep doing the same thing the whole time, you're going to be left behind. Every week we're like, well, this isn't working. How can we redo it? Or we did something last week that worked really well. Let's bring it back. And I think you also have to be really comfortable with change and uncertainty, because running a business, things are constantly changing. You're relying, we've said before, on so many different factors, and it's uncertain out there. We're going through hard times. You know, how you expect things to go might not go that way. So it's being able to be adaptable.
Constantly reassess. I actually think that this is something that we love. I think we thrive on this.
We do, deep down.
Brainstorming and constantly evolving and reassessing. We get so excited, we feel so inspired, and you can sense it in our energy. When something, I would say we reassess the way we're working probably
once a month at least.
Yeah, definitely.
In all the different factors, so like across Twinset, across the brand, across our marketing, just across everything.
Constantly reassessing and brainstorming and finding new ways to work and get inspired. And it's really uplifting. I would say it's probably one of my favorite things about running a business. I love that feeling of like that fresh ideas. Let's do it this way.
I also think what's really good is that we're able to be okay with not enjoying something or it not working, and being able to attack the problem. Because I think sometimes it is easy to go along doing the same thing, but actually we say we're holding our hands up, this isn't working, it might look difficult for the next week or so, 2 weeks, months, whatever, but we're going to do it differently to make it work. And I think that has taken us time though. It really has. We've been doing Twinset, for 13 years? Yeah. We weren't always like this.
No, of course. And like that's like with anything, you know, the longer you do something, the more confident you feel with it. And
you've got to have the confidence to make changes as well.
Exactly. But moving on to something that we're sure so many of you feel and can relate to. Obviously, the weather has changed, but it definitely has left us feeling like we're in a bit of a style rut. We kind of skipped the whole of spring, which I can't even talk about. It really hurts my heart. And because of that, we're now almost in summer, and it's like, what are we wearing? And we're stylists, we should know, but we definitely feel all those feels of just being in an absolute style
I think
rut.
getting dressed in the morning, putting your clothes out the night before, because we always do that, has become a bit of a chore. Yes. And I don't like that, because that's such a big part of who we are, and we haven't known what to wear.
So we just thought, what are those key points that we always do to help, those tips that will help us get out of a style rut?
Because I think a lot of people feel this. We're feeling this now. We don't always feel this, but a lot of people, from the messages we get in our inbox, they've had a baby, their body's changed, they're in a style rut, they're starting a new job, they've, they're working out more, so their bodies change, all
Yeah.
things like that. It's like, how can we help answer those questions?
So when we're feeling confused, these are our, how many have we got? 4 tips
Yeah.
to help inspire. Shall I start with the first one?
Yep.
Have a good clear out. Right. So I've been doing this obviously for the last couple of weeks. Moving house next week. Woohoo. And I would say this has been I have kind of started my bedroom the last few days, and it has really helped me clear my mind with it all. I always say this. I've said this since I was a little kid, I remember. A clear room, a clear mind. Don't you find, like, if you sleep in your bedroom and it's like chaos everywhere and you've got stuff everywhere, you can't sleep, you can't focus. When you wake up, you still feel like you're
in the chaos.
Part of the chaos. So if you have a clear bedroom, you have a clear wardrobe, it just helps focus your mind on all the good things that you like.
And also sometimes choice can be too much. If you've got like 28 of same but different, which we're very guilty of, actually if 20 of them you really actually don't like that much, get rid, because then you can see the ones you really like. There's nothing worse than taking something from a wardrobe and putting it on and not feeling good in it and then putting it back in there. So what kind of idiot does that?
Us. Yeah. So just always put the things that you love, the things that make you feel good, put that in your front of your wardrobe.
Yeah.
Always. That would be my key point. Number
2, sometimes I find I want to wear a particular item, but I kind of want to feel inspired, or I want a bit of something of how to put it together.
You don't know how to wear it.
So I will actually go onto Pinterest, let's just say it's white jeans, and I will type in white jeans street style.
Yeah.
And I love being inspired from that way. I love looking at what people are doing and just kind of interpreting. And the other morning, I actually wanted to wear a white shirt. And normally I'd wear it done up with, jeans or with our black leggings, but I didn't feel in that vibe. So I went onto Pinterest and I saw loads of people styling it with a vest underneath, which I have done in the past, but obviously totes forgot. So I put on like a high white ribbed vest. I put on camel trousers, black sandals, black belt, inspired by an outfit I saw, and I felt actually really nice.
I very much enjoyed that outfit.
Thank you so much.
I love Pinterest.
Yeah.
Especially for me with the house, I'm just like constantly on Pinterest. It's just such an incredible source of inspiration, but especially for outfits. Don't forget it for your outfits. Which leads me on to tip 3, and this is something that I am yet to do, but I do want to do it.
So, and she's going to do it on behalf for both of us, by the way, because I ain't got time for this.
It does take time, but sometimes I feel like we have to prioritize things that will make us feel better about ourselves. And that is save pictures. So whether that's on Pinterest, whether it's on Instagram, TikTok, save any outfit that you like, just screenshot it, have it on your phone, and then create an album. Now you could just make one album, like a style album, that potentially if you wake up in the morning and you think, what am I going to wear today? You quickly just go onto that album, and it's quick, easy inspiration. But I'm going to take it to the next level.
Oh, yeah.
And we are going to create different albums for different styles. So I'm going to have a weekend style album, a going out style album, a holiday album. How stunning does this sound?
This sounds like a dream. And actually, we could take it a step further, because I've seen something recently where I know we do try and take like our outfit photos daily, but often we're just not in the right, mindset. But if we just took a picture not to put anywhere, and then you save the outfits that you've worn, because how often do you wear a good outfit and then you've totally, like I wore with the vest and the shirt, I totally forgotten about that.
So true.
So then you have an album of all your pictures on your phone, so then you can go back to your own inspiration and use yourself as inspiration.
I like it.
So maybe I'll do that side of it.
You do that side and I'll do the other side, and then together we're just a dream.
Together we will never have this worry again.
And lastly, Sarah,
what do we do? Lastly, we got to love a bit of Instagram, where we go to people that we love to follow and we use them as inspiration. And being such visual people, often when we've said this before, when we went to Marrakesh, we'll plan a shoot and we'll look to people for how they've shot certain things. But there's just some people that we go to. Like yesterday, we were in the office and we were on an Anoukier. I don't know how to pronounce her name. Anoukier?
I think so. But also, can I just add?
Yes.
She's started to
like our posts.
Which has definitely made our day last night, by the way. She is our absolute girl crush of the moment.
She's so beautiful.
We need to add her name to the notes of this show.
Yeah,
because we're probably not pronouncing her name properly.
Correctly. But that's what we call her.
Anoukier. I think.
Yeah.
She's just
the way she puts things together, she's really effortless. And I think as well, it's looking at those people that define your style. So what are your style words? I think we're quite effortless, we're minimal, we're I like to think we're effortless and minimal, by the way. Others might not think so.
Apparently I'm sporty and you're bougie.
So all of those words, but it's finding those people that relate to you.
Yeah.
So obviously we're going to share our people, but you obviously guys will have people that you follow that you really resonate with. And it's kind of going to those pages for quick fixes, or even using the save function, you know, on Instagram, where you can save it there. Because that could be, maybe you don't need an album on your phone. It could be on Instagram.
Yeah, but I guess Pinterest is also such a good...
Oh yeah, true.
Who else do we like to look for inspiration?
Faker Strom.
We like Smith Sisters.
We like Lovisa.
Anine Bing.
Anine always, she's so good.
Anine
Bing.
Is there anyone else that we always look to? I feel like those are our 5 at the moment.
Yeah.
And they do constantly evolve
Agalora,
and change.
Agalora.
Oh, I don't know if I follow her.
Oh, you always with the short hair.
Oh,
with the kid.
yes. That's not how you pronounce her name.
What's her name then?
Lagora. Yes, she's
really beautiful.
Okay, so to end the show, we just want to touch on something that has really been bothering me this week. And it is, I'm going to say it, mum guilt.
We often talk about this.
Often.
I think it's good to share the stories that we're experiencing, because I know so many of the listeners experience them as well.
So I got a message in my inbox last weekend, very excited. Nursery's first ever assembly, Monday, June the 12th. Forever. And that is the day that we go to Turkey for our supplier meeting. And it's just sod's law, because Alfie, whenever, he's had probably about 4 or 5 of them now. And he's always said, oh, I really want Daddy to come. And obviously I've always allowed him, you know, I don't want to ever, it's not about me, it's who he wants there.
Yeah, it's not about you, babe.
But I always at the back of my mind thought, it's okay, he can go to Alfie's, because I know Ava will always want me there. And it's just sod's law that her first ever assembly, where she's going to have her own lines, she's singing an amazing song as in her class, and I'm not going to be there. And I would be lying if this isn't something that I have thought about pretty much every day since I read that email. It keeps biting me, it keeps stabbing me, it keeps coming into my mind.
Yeah.
And I think so many...
So what do you tell yourself in that moment?
So this is exactly it. Every time that those negative thoughts come into my mind of, I'm so upset, poor me, like, I'm so gutted, oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
It's like constantly readdressing it, constantly talk to myself. So like last night I got into bed and it came into my mind all of a sudden. And it's that constant remind yourself, why am I going to Turkey? I'm going to Turkey because we're meeting our amazing supplier to discuss our incredible, exciting new collection for next autumn winter. How amazing, how exciting, how lucky I am to be doing that. How amazing that Ava will know that I am working, I'm traveling, I put everything into motherhood and my business. So, and then all of a sudden it all feels at peace.
Yeah.
But it's a constant mum guilt dagger.
Yeah.
And then you have to just, remind myself, and that's kind of how I've been dealing with it. But I just wanted to share it because it's just something that is really getting to me.
And it's those moments, I mean, it's not similar, but last night, obviously, we had Hope's hen, and Craig left work early, the husband, and put the kids to bed. So I'm messaging in the evening, and I said, you know, the kid's okay after they went down. And I said, did they mention me? And he wrote, no. And you're like, oh
shame.
God, my heart, my poor heart. They didn't say, where's mummy? And he was like, no, they're fine, which I'm so grateful that they are fine. I'm so grateful.
And also they are with Daddy.
Yeah, they're with Daddy, which is absolutely wonderful. And
Yeah.
I'm again grateful that I was able to go out. But it hurt me that they didn't ask where they were. And it's that, why do I feel like that? You can't help those feelings come in, but like you said, it's about talking to them, accepting them, and letting them move on.
Yes. Let it go.
Let it go.
That's our phrase of the week.
Phrase of the week.
Let it go.
There we go. And on that note, we're going to let you go.
Episode 13.
Tick, tick, tick.
Another bank holiday Monday. So if you are listening to this and you're not rushing to work, or you are at work and it's just feeling a little bit more chill, and you're listening to us and you're giggling, or you're
crying. Or
whatever you're doing.
Eating could be a good one for this one.
Sorry if we made you really hungry. Yeah. We hope you've enjoyed episode 13 as much as we have enjoyed talking.
And please do like, subscribe, comment, leave us a 5-star review, and don't forget to check us out over on @TwinsetUnzipped, @WeAreTwinset, and @WhatTheBrand. And remember our cheeky discount for listeners for What the Brand. Thanks for listening.
Bye.